Hello and welcome to Ram Morning Yoga. I'm Jana and today we are going to do a little warm-up for the shoulders, neck, and spine. We'll be doing the Svanasana Vinyasa or dog warm-up, and we're going to incorporate the 6 natural directions of spinal movement as well as a nice inversion to help you feel more alert and awake. So a quick little overview of some of the props that can be useful for today's practice. I am sitting on a bolster to make my hip joint higher than my knee joint. I have a blanket to pad my knees, wrists, and ankles. And then since we are doing shoulders, I have a strap here, but you don't have to have a yoga strap. You can use a belt, shoestring, a hand towel, anything that can help make your arms longer, which is the point of the strap, because we are going to be going behind the back today. And we want that movement to be in the shoulders and maintaining a straight spine. So to maintain that spinal integrity, we have our strap back here to bring our grip closer together. So we're going to use isometric movements of muscle groups to start working our shoulders. So with an isometric muscle movement, it's as though you're going to make a movement, but you don't allow that movement to happen. So for this specific set of movements, we want to think about doing this with the arm. So maybe just take it and try it. Just think about putting your arm back like this. And now, instead of allowing that arm to move back, we're going to take the right hand and place it on the left arm, and then we're going to engage that muscle group. Like we're moving the arm back, and we're going to engage at about 50% pressure of whatever your full force could be. And we're gonna take about 6 or 7 rounds of breath here. And it may not seem like we're doing much, but after a few rounds of breath at 50% pressure, you'll begin to feel the work that you're doing on the back of the shoulder. So 3 more rounds of breath. And then to relax the pose, we're just going to lay the hand across the chest, staying in this same position, but allowing that muscle group to recover from what you just did to it. So we're going to roll the shoulders a couple of times, maybe backward and forward. We're taking about a 30-second rest, staying engaged with the breath. And then we're going to do this 3 times on each side. So bringing both arms down, maybe noticing if one shoulder feels a little different than the other, kind of just moving them around and taking note of that. Maybe this left shoulder feels a little more loose, a little more relaxed. And so now we're going to take the other side. So the right arm comes across the chest, and we want to think about doing this motion with the right arm. So we've got our right arm across the chest, and the left hand comes up to stop the right arm from that movement. And then we're going to engage that muscle group at 50% and check into the breath before we move to our 3rd repetition for this side. And a nice thing about this is that if you have one side that is tighter, or maybe you're experiencing some pain, you can always start with that side and end on it and give it more reps. Give it a little more time. You can just play with this and do it for as long or as often as you want to. So let's take our last round on the right side. 50% pressure. And then finding the breath. Allowing that hand to rest against the chest. Maybe a couple of shoulder circles. And just really bringing the awareness to the shoulders and neck. And think about anything that you might need to do to move, stretch, and be comfortable in that area. So we're going to bring the arms down, and we're going to just take a small movement through the chin to warm up the chest. So the chin goes toward the chest. Raising the chin back up, left ear toward the left shoulder, head back to center, right ear, right shoulder, head back to center, and then once more chin moving toward the chest, welcoming that stretch into the back of the neck, head coming back to neutral, left ear, left shoulder, center, right ear, right shoulder, back to center. Maybe adjusting your seat, you can bring the legs underneath you, or you can stay in that comfortable Sukhasana position with the legs crossed, whatever works for you. But we're going to be here for a couple of minutes, so getting comfortable, finding your strap, and bringing one end of your strap into the left hand, pointing the thumb down toward the floor and bringing that hand overhead. The right hand will come behind with the thumb pointed up. And as you find your grip on that strap with both hands, thumbs pointing toward one another, straightening through the spine, straightening through the neck. And then perhaps if you want to deepen this stretch, on the inhale, drawing the crown of your head toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, maybe you inch those hands just a little closer together, but always maintaining a straight spine, never sacrificing the integrity of the spine to get the hands closer together. This is about working in the shoulder joint, not making it look a certain way, not forcing the body into something that it's not ready for. On your next inhale, the left arm will sweep across the front of the chest, and the right arm can go ahead and take the strap. And then the right arm will be used to lightly stretch that left shoulder, kind of gently nudging it to the right side of the body. Two more rounds of breath here. And then allowing the arms to come down. And the strap is now in the right hand with the thumb pointed toward the ground. The right arm comes overhead and behind. And the left hand, thumb up, come behind as well. Finding your grip on that strap, thinking about the spine being straight from tailbone to the top of the head. With the strap in the right hand will come over the head to bring the strap behind the neck, and the left hand will come behind, thumb pointed up, and find that grip on the strap. So then thinking about the spine being a straight line from the tailbone up to the crown of the head. On the inhale, maybe lengthening up a little taller. And on the exhale, maybe the hands scoot a little closer together to deepen the stretch. And then finding the breath. Finding that edge of the stretch where perhaps you feel some slight discomfort, but never sharp pain, never pinching. On the next inhale, the right arm will come across the chest, and the left hand takes the strap, and using the left hand to nudge the arm across the body, really opening up through the right shoulder. And then feeling free to do this as many times as you feel like you might need before doing some shoulder circles. And then transitioning on to the next part of our practice. So we're going to move from this seated position to on the hands and knees, dog position or svanasana. So we've got a blanket beneath us to pad that knee joint. We're going to lift up, bringing the hands to the mat in front of us, stacking the hands and the wrists under the elbow, under the shoulder, and then turning the creases of the elbows inward. And finding your dog pose, stacking the knees under the hips. And we're going to move through a few cat-cows or chakravakasana to really bring synovial fluid into those joints of the spine. So on the inhale, we're going to arch our back up like a cat. And then on the exhale, we round down, tailbone and the top of the head point up. So on the inhale, we arch the back, tucking the tailbone and the head. And on the exhale, we round, coming down. So just taking a few rounds of this at your own breath. Inhale, we arch. And on the exhale, we round. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to do a similar movement to help lubricate and mobilize the back muscles and joints. So we want to think about our spine kind of like a jump rope. So if we allow the tummy to drop down, circling around to the left, and then the back arches back up, circling to the right. And the hips should be moving. Knees and hands stay stationary. And allowing that movement to go fluid through the shoulders. Coming back to neutral and reversing the direction of that movement. And then coming back to your dog position. Maybe you've shifted around a little, so stacking the wrists back under the elbows, back under the shoulders. Knees are stacked under the hips. And we're going to begin this dog sequence by taking the left hand to the left side of your body and walking the right hand over. So during this little vinyasa, we are doing the 6 natural directions of spinal movement that we talked about. We have already done circumduction, and now we're doing side to side. So we're going to walk those hands back to center, and then walking the right hand to the right side of the body. The left hand follows, and you get that nice C curve in the spine for that side to side direction. And so then we want to start moving this with our breath. So on the inhale, we walk both hands back to center. And on the exhale, we come over to the side. So alternating sides. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite side. And then really checking into your breath and making this movement your own. Taking one more to each side. Returning the hands back toward the center of the mat. Your balanced, grounded position here. And then the left leg will extend out behind you, And the ball of the left foot coming to the floor behind you. And then pressing the heel down and back, welcoming that stretch into the back of the calf. And then as you are ready, raising that heel up, and imagine a straight line going from your head down the spine through the leg. And as you exhale, drawing the knee toward the abdomen, elbow, or side of the body. And then opening the leg up behind. So exhale, we fold the leg in, compress. And then inhale, making room, extending the leg, opening through the diaphragm, expanding through the lungs. So exhale, knee comes in toward midline. And inhale, the leg comes out. We'll do that 2 more times before switching to the other side. And then as you are ready, bringing that knee down to the floor below you. Rolling the wrists if you need to. And then bringing the right foot behind you, placing the ball of the foot on the floor. And then imagining pushing down and out through the heel, welcoming that stretch into the calf. On your next inhale, raising that heel up to be level with the rest of the body. Exhale, that knee will fold in toward midline. And inhale as you open, extending out through the leg, expanding. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, extending. I'm doing this 3 more times. And then as you bring the knees down, beginning to shift the hips back toward the heels, and the arms will stretch out in front, finding child's pose, bringing the forehead down to the mat, and with the breath, imagining the space in between each one of the spinal vertebrae to loosen, open, align. And once you have settled back into the breath, finding whatever comfortable position you desire to finish your practice, whether that be lying on the back or sitting with your legs crossed. So I thank you for joining us for this short yoga practice. I appreciate you allowing me to offer suggestions and guidance to you for your home practice. I hope you join us next week. And I like to end the practice by saying Namaste, which to me means that special thing within me sees and recognizes that within you. Namaste.